Welcome to the Art of War History.
Across history's sprawling battlefield, certain names don't just echo, they resonate with lethal force. We speak not merely of armies, but of specialized units whose discipline, brutality, and sheer effectiveness redefine the art of warfare. These are the shock troops, the silent killers, and the world conquerors whose very appearance promised absolute annihilation. They forged empires in blood and brought ruin to civilizations with ruthless precision. From the bronze shield walls of ancient Greece to the surgical strikes of the modern era, these units blurred the line between warrior and executioner. This video delves into the shadows to uncover the 10 most devastating military units in history. Prepare to witness the convergence of tactical mastery, unyielding fanaticism, and unmatched killing power. Welcome to the deadliest assembly of warriors the world has ever known. Our countdown begins with the unstoppable engine of destruction, the Mongol Hordes. Led by Genghis Khan, their conquest created the largest contiguous land empire in history. They were a swift, disciplined tide of nomadic cavalry. Each warrior was a master horse archer, capable of firing lethal shots while riding at a full gallop. Their core tactic was speed, feigned retreats, and psychological warfare that emptied cities before they even arrived. The decimal system of organization, from the 10-man Araft to the 10,000-man Tumen, ensured flawless communication. The brutality of their sieges was legendary. They often used the captured population as human shields against fortifications. It is estimated their campaigns were responsible for the deaths of up to 40 million people, a staggering toll for the era. The sheer scale of their slaughter, spanning from China to Central Europe, earns them the top spot for historical destruction. Next are the Roman legions, the ultimate architects of durable, sustained imperial power. For over 1,000 years, the legionary was the professional standard of the ancient world. Their strength lay in rigorous training, engineering, and the flexible maniple in cohort systems. Armed with the gladius and the pilum, their short stabbing sword and heavy javelin were weapons of maximum efficiency. Discipline was enforced by the centurion, who could execute soldiers for cowardice or insubordination through decimation. The legions perfected siege warfare and logistics, building roads and bridges faster than many modern armies. Their conquests stretched from North Africa to Britain, enslaving and slaughtering countless nations to ensure the Pax Romana. The sheer longevity and scale of their constant warfare make them one of history's most effective killing machines. The Spartan Hoplites, a legendary symbol of military asceticism and lethal commitment. From the age of 7, every male citizen was forged in the agoge, a brutal lifelong training regimen. They formed the deadliest iteration of the phalanx, a bronze-armored shield wall that was nearly unbreakable head-on. The cry, "Come and take them," at Thermopylae defined their unyielding resolve and suicidal bravery. While not empire builders, their quality over quantity in battle often resulted in disproportionate slaughter. In the Othismos, the brutal pushing match of the phalanx, the Spartans were masters of coordinated collective killing. They were the elite shock weapon of the Greek world, deployed when absolute victory or absolute sacrifice was required. The legacy of the 300 is a stark reminder of how fanatic discipline can turn a small unit into an iconic force of terror. Moving to the early modern period, we encountered the Ottoman Janissaries, Europe's first standing professional army. The Janissaries were the Sultan's personal infantry, recruited exclusively through the Devshirme system, a forced levy of Christian boys. Trained from childhood in absolute loyalty and strict discipline, they formed a military caste of unparalleled devotion. They were among the first units to fully integrate gunpowder weapons, mastering the arquebus and the musket in massed fire. Their signature victories, such as the conquest of Constantinople in 1453, proved the dominance of professional infantry. Though fiercely loyal, their power eventually grew too great, leading to destructive insurrections against the Sultan himself. This elite corps maintained the Ottoman Empire's terrifying expansion and control across 3 continents. Its story is one of ultimate effectiveness and eventual self-destruction, dissolved only after hundreds of years of conquest. Few units were more feared for their sheer shock and ferocity than the Viking Raiders. They were masters of amphibious assault, utilizing their shallow draft longships to strike without warning. They were small, highly motivated, and brutal bands of mercenaries and pirates. They targeted wealthy monasteries and coastal towns, leaving a trail of fire and slaughter across Europe. Their preferred weapon was the massive, two-handed Danish axe, capable of splitting a shield and the man behind it. The berserkers among them were the truly terrifying element, reportedly fighting in a trance, impervious to pain. From the British Isles to Russia, the Viking terror shaped European history and military strategy for centuries. The image of the Viking longship cutting through the morning mist remains a permanent, deadly fixture in historical memory. Alexander the Great's conquest of the Persian Empire was primarily enabled by his elite Macedonian companion cavalry. These heavy-shot cavalry were recruited from the noblest families and served as Alexander's most trusted soldiers. The companions functioned as the hammer to the Macedonian phalanx's anvil, providing the decisive killing blow. Armed with the ziston, a long, sturdy cavalry lance, they charged in a distinctive wedge formation to shatter enemy lines. At the Battle of Gaugamela, their bold flanking maneuver annihilated the Persian center and routed Darius III himself. They were the most versatile and aggressive cavalry of the ancient world, able to pivot from charge to pursuit with unmatched speed. Their sustained success across Asia solidified Alexander's divine reputation and ended the Achaemenid Empire. The companions represent the perfect synergy between a brilliant commander and a lethally effective, highly trained elite unit. Jumping to World War II, the Waffen-SS epitomizes a unit forged from political fanaticism and extreme combat effectiveness. They evolved into the deadliest, most heavily equipped, and highly motivated fighting force on the Eastern Front. Their men were handpicked for their physical superiority and absolute ideological devotion to the Nazi regime. The SS divisions consistently proved capable of sustaining and inflicting staggering casualties, often fighting to the last man. They were the chosen troops for implementing brutal anti-partisan warfare and were complicit in countless atrocities and war crimes. Equipped with the best German tanks and weaponry, they were the elite firefighters of a collapsing regime. Their ability to repeatedly reform and counterattack, even when encircled, gave them a fearful reputation among Allied soldiers. The SS represented a terrifying combination of elite soldiering and the wholesale execution of ideological terror, leaving behind a legacy of destruction unmatched in the modern era. The Japanese samurai, a warrior class whose commitment to conflict spanned nearly 1,000 years. Governed by the strict code of Bushido, their life was dedicated entirely to the perfection of martial discipline and loyalty. The primary weapon was the katana, a sword renowned for its lethality, sharpness, and deep cultural significance. They were masters of both mounted combat and close-quarters dueling, making them feared on any battlefield. Their willingness to fight to the death and the ritual of seppuku for failure made them a psychologically terrifying opponent. As an elite governing class of professional soldiers, their actions dictated the political fate of the nation for centuries. Whether in massed battles or one-on-one challenges, the samurai were defined by their exceptional, personalized killing skill. Their legacy persists as the enduring global symbol of the perfect yet brutal warrior class. The SAS, or Special Air Service, defines the modern concept of the elite surgical strike force. Their motto, "Who dares wins," encapsulates the unit's philosophy of high-risk, high-reward operations. Formed during World War II, their initial success came from daring, deep-penetration raids behind enemy lines in North Africa. In the modern era, they specialize in counter-terrorism, reconnaissance, and intelligence gathering in hostile environments, drawing only the most mentally and physically resilient soldiers. Operating in small four-man teams, they can achieve strategic objectives traditionally requiring battalion-sized forces. The Iranian embassy siege in 1980 cemented their global reputation for rapid, decisive, and overwhelming force. The true number of operations and successes remains highly classified, adding to their mysterious and terrifying aura. The SAS represents the evolution of deadliness, from massed slaughter to precise, clinical, untraceable assassination. Finally, we honor the Gurkhas, Nepalese soldiers whose loyalty and ferocity have served the British Crown for over 200 years. Their enlistment began after the Anglo-Nepalese War, recruited because the British were so impressed by their enemy's bravery. The Gurkhas' physical resilience, discipline, and training make them superb light infantry and mountain fighters. Their weapon of legend is the kukri, a heavy, inwardly curved knife used with terrifying speed and effectiveness in close combat. They were instrumental in countless major conflicts, including both World Wars I and II, the Falklands, and the current conflicts in Afghanistan. The saying goes that a Gurkha never draws his kukri without drawing blood, a testament to their surgical ferocity. When a Gurkha is called to action, he brings an uncompromising, terrifying energy to the battlefield. Many of their decorated actions involve incredible acts of courage and the single-handed neutralization of enemy positions. The Gurkhas stand as the ultimate example of a small, highly disciplined unit with an enduring, terrifying reputation.
The stories of these 10 units are a chilling mosaic of human conflict. They prove that victory often belongs not just to the biggest army, but to the most disciplined, fanatical, and ruthlessly committed. From the strategic cavalry charges of antiquity to the covert warfare of today, the definition of deadliness evolves. But the core requirement remains constant: the unshakable will to execute the mission at any cost. These warriors remind us that the greatest force multiplier in history has always been the human element of terror. Thank you for stepping into the shadows of military history